If you've hit a wall with your low-carb eating or time-restricted eating plan, and the numbers on the scale have frozen despite your best efforts, especially if you're in your later years, then stick around, because this could be the game changer you've been waiting for. Countless folks kick off these approaches full of energy, watching the pounds drop away at first, but then, a few months in, everything grinds to a halt. You might start feeling drained, less strong, or even hungrier than when you began. The real story here isn't that these methods have failed you. It's that your system has gotten used to them, and there's a smart way to tweak your protein intake that can kickstart things again without any risks. I'm here to guide you through this, drawing from solid research on how our bodies work, and I'll keep it straightforward so anyone can follow along. Most people aren't handling protein quite right, and that one oversight can quietly stall your progress toward shedding extra fat, while potentially wearing down your health if you're not mindful. But hang in there, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to adjust things and get your body's natural fat burning process firing on all cylinders once more. If this sounds like your story, drop a note in the comments about where you're tuning in from. I'd love to hear, and make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as what's coming up next is something you'll want to keep coming back for. Let's dive right in and uncover what's really going on when you reach that annoying standstill. To get there, we have to look back at those exciting early days when everything seemed to click and the weight just vanished. It's thrilling, but it's also a bit of a trick your body plays. The quick drop you see in the beginning isn't mostly from burning away stored fat. It's largely from letting go of extra fluid. Here's the simple reason your body keeps spare energy from carbs tucked away as a substance in your muscles and liver, and for every bit of that, it holds onto 3 or 4 times as much water. When you slash carbs or skip meals for longer stretches, your body taps into those reserves first, and as it uses them up, all that attached water gets released and cleared out. So, when you weigh yourself and celebrate losing 5, 10, or more pounds right away, a big chunk of that is just water saying goodbye. It feels like you're melting fat fast, but that's not the full truth. It's setting the stage for the tougher part ahead, where your body starts to adjust and protect itself. After that initial rush, your incredibly smart body, shaped by thousands of years of surviving tough times, picks up on the change. It notices you're taking in less energy overall and doesn't realize you're doing this on purpose for better health. Instead, it assumes hard times might be ahead, like a shortage of food, and it shifts into a mode to save energy. This is your body's way of getting more efficient, running all its vital jobs with fewer calories. Things like your energy, regulating hormones might dial back a touch, or you could feel a little chillier than normal. These are quiet clues that your inner fire is turning down to conserve fuel. It's all about survival, keeping you going longer on less. This slowdown makes it tougher to keep losing weight, even if you're sticking to the same routine. That's the flat line you're experiencing, not because you're doing something wrong or lacking drive, but because Your biology is stepping in to safeguard you. And here's where it gets really important, especially as we get older. This protective mode can lead to something sneaky and harmful if not addressed. Your body starting to borrow from its own strength reserves, when it still needs building blocks for everyday repairs, like fixing tissues, making messengers that control your functions, or keeping your defenses strong. And if you're not supplying enough top-notch building materials through what you eat, it looks inward. The easiest spot, your muscles. It begins to dismantle them bit by bit to grab what it needs. Picture your muscles as your round, the clock calorie burning factory. They keep working even when you're relaxing or asleep. The more you have, the more fuel you use up naturally. But if you lose some, that factory shrinks, and suddenly you need even fewer calories just to stay the same weight, making further progress feel impossible. For those of us past our prime, this is a big deal because we're already prone to naturally losing some muscle over time, and speeding that up turns a helpful plan into one that ages you faster. It leaves you feeling less steady on your feet, more at risk for slips or breaks, and simple tasks like lifting bags or standing up become harder. You're not just lighter, you're losing your power, your freedom to move easily, and that spark of life. To top it off, this whole setup sparks a chain reaction with a key stress signal in your body that fights against your goals. When it senses ongoing shortages, it cranks up this signal, which is meant to rally energy but ends up encouraging your system to cling to fat, especially the risky kind that builds up around your middle and crowds your organs. So, ironically, by eating less or spacing out meals more, you're prompting your body to raid its muscle stores, which stresses it out, releases more of that signal, and then that same signal pushes for holding on to belly padding. The stuff linked to ongoing health issues like blood sugar problems or heart concerns. You end up slimmer on the outside, but softer and weaker inside, with a sluggish calorie burn and more of the wrong kind of padding. This is the trap of not getting these plans just right. It's a road to feeling more fragile, not vibrant. Now, let's shine a light on why this matters even more and the risks lurking in everyday slip-ups, because it's about way more than just a stuck scale. It's your future well-being at stake. This quiet muscle erosion is tricky because the scale might still dip, fooling you into thinking you're winning, but inside, things are straining. It's not picky about where it takes from. It could affect the muscles that help your digestion run smooth, leading to tummy troubles, or the one that powers your breaths, or worst of all, the tireless pump in your chest that keeps everything going. Over time, without enough building blocks to mend and strengthen it, that pump can weaken. That's why many in their golden years following unbalanced plans feel a deep tiredness, no pick me up can shake, or woozy when they stand, or take longer to bounce back from a short stroll. They catch bugs more easily too, since your defenses need those same building blocks to make fighters against illness. These aren't victories. They're red flags that your body is dipping into its own reserves to keep running, swapping quick wins for a slower slide in overall toughness. A lot of people sense the issue when they feel run down and starving, So they try to patch it by loading up on a big helping of muscle, building foods at the end of their no, eating stretch, maybe a hefty cut of meat or a monster drink with heaps of it, figuring they're catching up. But this often backfires big time, especially as years add up. Your system isn't built to handle a flood like that all in one go. For starters, it puts extra work on your filters, the organs that clean out the leftovers from breaking down those foods. It's like overwhelming a quiet stream with a sudden torrent. Once in a while might be okay if everything's healthy, but day after day wears it down. Plus, overlooked by many, dumping in so much at once can jolt your energy storage signal almost as much as sweets do. Certain parts of those building blocks nudge your body to release that signal, flipping off the fat using mode you've built up over hours. You've earned that state only to wipe it out with one meal. And then there's the gut overload after it's been quiet, causing puffiness, discomfort, and a heavy fog instead of a refresh. This isn't a kind or lasting way to fuel yourself. The true key to turning things around, making these plans support you instead of fighting back, is finding that sweet spot, a steady, thoughtful way to supply just the right kind at the perfect moments and amounts. That's the base of what works, and I'll walk you through the best window and choices for folks in their later chapters soon. Hang tight, because this one shift is what turns strugglers into successes, and it's rarely spotlighted. Okay, let's lay the groundwork for fixing this. To grasp this protein approach, start by appreciating the huge impact of your opening meal, the one that ends your no-eating phase. You've likely heard, break your fast. But let's think deeper. After hours without food, your body is in a special spot, adaptable and ready with storage signals at their lowest. That initial bite sends a strong message, shaping how your energy and signals flow for the day ahead. It can keep the good stuff going, like tapping into stored energy, or slam it shut and flip back to hoarding. Why do common starters flop? Many grab what seems easy and wholesome, a warm drink with a splash of richness, a piece of fresh produce, or a quick spread on bread. In other times, fine, but as your opener after a gap, they mess things up. Fruit or bread hits with quick energy boosters that soak in fast on an empty tank, spiking levels and calling in that storage signal hard, killing your fat access mode. A creamy drink or handful of crunchies, while not as spiky, floods in easy fuel, signaling no need to dip into reserves. We've got plenty incoming. Either way, you're missing the vital cue your body craves after that breakdown phase. Rebuild and mend. Enter a standout building block called the trigger key. It's one your body can't make, so food must supply it, and it's the boss that rallies the team. After a controlled rest, it's like the leader showing up to say, break's over, time to construct. It flips on a main control path that oversees muscle rebuilding, telling your system to halt the teardown and start stacking up. Skip enough of this in your opener, and the switch stays off. Later intakes won't fully catch up. You've missed the prime slot to stop loss and spark growth. That's why kicking off with this focus is essential, particularly when age makes it harder to respond to those cues. But there's more. These building foods pack a calorie-burning punch during processing. Your body spends energy just handling them. About a fifth to a third of their fuel value goes to digesting alone, compared to energy boosters at maybe a tenth or less, and rich options at almost none. Making this the lead in your opener not only feeds strength, but cranks your inner heat, helping use more fuel all day, even lounging. It's a straightforward counter to the natural slowdown from years or lighter eating. The magic range, 30 to 40 units. Precision counts here. Studies show as we mature, we need a bigger single serving to spark that rebuild to match younger responses. It's like our signals get a bit muffled. The agreed sweet zone is around 30 to 40 units of top-grade, full, set-building food in that starter to push past the muffling and max the response. Too little, and the trigger doesn't fully engage, way more risks the overload pitfalls we covered. Nail this, and you're guiding your body to use intakes smartly, rotating to repair while pulling from stores for energy. Clearing up the filter, worry. Some might fret that more of this stresses those cleaning organs. It's a stubborn old tale, but for most with no major issues, science says reasonable amounts like this don't harm. In fact, they support overall function. Only if there's advanced trouble should you limit under guidance. The real risk is skimping, which speeds weakening, thins supports, and oddly stresses systems more. Choose pure sources, stay quenched, 1000, and it bolsters you. With the why and science clear, here's the elegant fix that pulls it together. The top strategy to reignite your burn and make these plans shine again is straightforward but mighty. Lead your eating time with a full prime building source, taking it before any big energy boosters or rich additions, and do this soon after opening. Within an hour, this tiny order tweak sparks a wave of benefits that echo through your day. How it works? Hitting your gut first empty, it prompts release of fullness messengers that zip to your mind, saying, "We're good. Ease up." This curbs the binge risk after gaps and, crucially, softens the rush from any later boosters in the meal. It slows the flow from stomach to absorber, so those elements enter steady, not surging. No harsh peaks in levels or signals, just a smooth flow. For anyone watching balance or stability, this is huge, keeping things low to favor stored energy use even while eating. Picture two scenarios, both end a moderate gap. One mixes a creamy cultured milk with sweet bits and crunchies all at once. The sweets rush in, nudging a signal bump with the milk's natural lift. The other starts plain with the cultured part, pauses briefly to let it settle, then adds the rest. Same items, but the second feels satisfied longer, energy steady, and fat access lingers hours more. Just the order shifts everything. For maturing bodies, this pays off big. It guards against strength fade by hitting with a strong rebuild cue right away, keeping you solid and self-reliant. Better steadiness cuts tumble risks, easier daily doings, denser supports since they link with strength, and a flexible burn that handles variety without packing it away. It's not mere slimming, it's thriving longer. Now, let's turn ideas into steps. To supercharge, link your opener with easy motion. No heavy lifts, just 10-15 minutes of gentle action post-meal, like a lively stroll or basic moves. Why? The intakes flood your flow, and moving makes tissues eager, pulling them right in for fixes. It's directing fuel to build lean, not store. Prime choices go for clean, digest-friendly options rich in that trigger. Free range eggs, nutrient-packed, simple, with brain boosters. 3 or 4 hit the mark. Ocean, caught swimmers like pink, fleshed or spotted types, offering anti-swelling helpers for core and mind. Thick, plain cultured milk or its kin, full version sans extras, slow release for lasting fullness. Pure filtered milk protein powder for quick, lactose-free, trigger, rich, no junk. For plant lovers, mix like small seeds with grains, dark pods with earthy bases, or blended powders from legumes and grains for full set. Watch outs. Don't save it all for later. Daytime response peaks early, so evening overloads waste potential and disrupt rest. Spread with opener focus. Skip junky packs. Many are sugar traps with fakes. Read for real stuff. Quench well. Handling needs fluid to clear smoothly. Sip steady, especially around eats. This setup builds a reliable routine that feeds, guards strength, and aligns your burn with you. To lock it in, here's a crisp plan. Must dose. Lead with building source alone first. Time within hour of open. Aim 30-40 units prime. Add light move after. Quench plenty. Avoids. Don't open with boosters or riches. Skip processed junk. No evening heaps. Don't quit the whole thing. Tweak with this for revival. What you've uncovered goes beyond tweaks. It's reclaiming your body's reins. It's not flawed, it was guarding. Wellness later is rebuilding, not cutting. Try this opener shift for a week. Feel the difference. That's change's start. If sparked, like to spread, share with cared ones. Subscribe for more. Tell me below your spot and years. Your tales inspire. You're tougher than imagined, rebuilding inside. Thanks. See you soon.